There's a new sport emerging in the world today, but for many, it's on a field they don't recognize. Their screens.
Another dying turret freak, another couple kills. Looking for the dive on a Hakuho. Freeze will spell shield E, still get kicked back though. Nearly has enough damage, but the rocket shield coming out from Crumbs keeps Freeze alive. So Crumbs saves his life. Ninja rejoining the team soon, knocked back on a Trundle, but he's one of the tankier members on the team now. Prox on the wrong side of the fight, sniped down. Ninja is unstoppable. And
This is esports, the sport where two teams battle it out in competitive video games. Instead of me explaining it to you, let's have Brian McNulty explain the rise of this sport.
When I joined Justin TV a long time ago, guys like DJ Wheat and guys like that were like casting StarCraft games from their basement with like 100 viewers, and that was like insane, and nowadays, I tune into like LCS or something like that, and there's 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 people watching the same page on Twitch, and it's mind-boggling.
As we learn about the fans' entry into esports, we hear from the players about their lives as professionals.
In esports and the esports around League, at first it was very small, and I don't think anybody really knew what was going on because most players just kind of stumbled upon becoming a pro player. So myself, I just got randomly asked, hey, there's a tournament going on, one of our players can't go, and I didn't even know there were League tournaments at the time. So I just inquired what it was about. Turns out free flight, free everything, just go play, and if you win, you make some money. So we went to a tournament, I think it's 2011 or 2012, IPL 3, and the entire crowd was like a big room, two guys, only the casters, Freak and Rib with zero beard at this time, by the way. So that can show you how different things were back then, and we just didn't really know what was going on. We just felt like we were just pretty good players playing against each other, and there was a prize pool at the end. But then every single year it kept growing so much. You're sitting there from that one, and then they tell you next year we're going to play at the Staples Center. I'm like, okay, wow, that's a drastic change and things like that. Or we're going to localize it. We're going to make LCS. I'm like, what is this? So it was just unfathomable at the time because you didn't really know what it was about. There's no way I could have imagined what it would come down to today and all that growth. And I think right now I'm at the point where I can really see all that growth, especially just because of the sheer amount of fans. There's so many people that really support it and truly love it. And I think that a big part of all that is because of how personal this esport is as opposed to a lot of others. If I want to cheer for my favorite NBA player, I can just watch their games and that's all. If I want to cheer for my favorite League player, I can watch this stream. I can come here, I can talk to him, I can high-five him, I can say everything I want, and I have that connection with that player. And I think that's what makes it so powerful.
You're at the LCS event, Week 9 finals. What makes you guys want to come out to an LCS event?
Well, just the atmosphere really, and everybody's so nice. Riot's really nice. We're from Wyoming, we flew out here this weekend, and Riot took good care of us, showed us around and everything like that. Made it really enjoyable.
Pretty cool. You guys are players yourselves?
We are.
How long have you guys been playing?
Since season 3, and then
I've been playing since Christmas, so I just got into it.
Yeah, awesome. So you got into it.
So for you, this is like, you started off with this pretty much. What is that like for you?
It's awesome. I love it. I love playing the game. I love watching all the players play.
Would you say the community makes this even better than just the game itself?
I do, yeah. Especially here because, everybody's just really nice, even if one team loses, the other team will just cheer.
This is the modern era of esports, and with us is Nathan Lindberg explaining how it got here.
Yeah, so coming from Curse, a company that had an esports team and kind of seeing the platform grow, joining Twitch has been incredible in the fact that it's really created an ecosystem for professional gamers to be just that, right? For a long time, we've seen that esports athletes have had to work a 9 to 5 and then go and play on the weekends, and that's just not sustainable for long-term success. If you look back in the day, back in the 60s and even the 50s, NFL players and AFL players used to have to go and work in the mines, work in the manufacturing plants, and then strap on the pads on the weekend, go and play, right, and then go back. And it wasn't until collective bargaining, until there were opportunities for these players to earn a real living, that the sport was able to be really successful. And I think that one of the things that Twitch has done as a broadcast platform, as a live streaming platform, is actually create that opportunity where you as an esports athlete can earn income to keep yourself afloat and not have to worry about a 9 to 5 job. I think that's probably one of the most important things in streaming.
As we continue to talk to Nathan, He compares the young life of esports to the early days of our nation's pastime sports.
If you look at generations and platforms, if you look at radio, right, and pulling baseball and creating a great ecosystem for baseball, it took decades to get baseball to where it is. It's taken 50 years for football to get to where it is. Esports is, in all intents and purposes, 5 years old, 5-6 years old, from a broadcasting standpoint, right? Esports has been around since the pinball days and the arcades, but from an actual, entertainment consumer broadcasting thing, it's about 5 or 6 years old. So we've got a long way to go. We only reach probably 15% of the population. There's a lot of people out there, and there's generations to come. People haven't been born yet who are going to be esports fanatics from day one. And there are people, and there are people in this world who have grown up with a world that did not include football, professional football. There are very few of them now, right? And so you're starting to see generations happen. Esports is so new. No one has grown up with esports. Everyone's growing up as esports is growing up right now. And I think that as time goes by, as it becomes a more stable, just a more stable part of just mass entertainment, you're going to see an overwhelming majority of people getting involved. The viewership's going to go up. It's going to become that fourth pillar in entertainment. And it will start to compete with major professional sports. It is one of the most inclusive sports in the world today in terms of the physical requirements are next to none. It's really about dedicating yourself to the sport, and that attracts a lot of people, and it's really aspirational. You can go from average Joe to esports hero in a couple of years with real time dedication. I think that's really going to drive a lot of interest, and I think we've just gotten started.